Make no mistake, I never imagined I would be working at a coffee shop. Get good grades in school, go to college, get a good job. Those words echoed throughout my life, and now they taunt me as I walk into the only place that would give me an interview. The Bubble Bean. I majored in STEM, for crying out loud. Everyone told me it was the correct choice. Why couldn't I get a good job in my field?
Ah, you must be here for the interview.
He gets up to shake my hand.
The name's Kyle. I'm the one and only manager here. Thanks for coming in. It's been quite the day here.
He seems nice, like a brotherly type that's now turning more fatherly as he's aging. At least he doesn't seem like a control freak. The rest of the interview went about as expected. He asked me the typical interview questions. I told him the necessary info about how I'm not a felon and how I can work in this country. A couple days later, I got a call to come in for my first day. I hope I'm only here for 2, maybe 3 weeks maximum.
Alright, Bubble Buddies, we've got a new addition to our crew. Why don't you say hi, newbie?
Hello. I look at the Bubble Buddies and see only 2 people. One of them, an alternative younger looking girl, looks at me like she's seen me before and already knows I'm gonna quit. The other, a dehydrated looking man around my age, smiles at me, but in the most I'm smiling because it's the polite and correct thing to do way possible.
Sup, I'm Julia. We'll probably be working at the bar together, but there's no alcohol. I hate it. Kyle won't even let me sneak in my own Kahlua for espresso martinis.
Julia?
Her flat tone clearly says, I don't want to be here, but someone is making me. Kyle's disappointed side to what Julia said shows that she's done this, and despite multiple corrections, this is just how she talks.
Howdy.
Sam shakes my hand. Despite his skinny and frail looking build, his handshake is firm, almost like he's done this about a million times over.
If you need me, I'll be in the kitchen or hitting Pennifer out back.
I hope Pennifer is just what he calls his vape.
Alrighty, let's burst this bubble. 1, 2, 3, go team!
Julia shows me around the bar and how to make the different drinks on the menu. Later, Sam showed me around the kitchen how to basically use the microwave for about 80% of the menu. After a week, I was able to get a handle on things and found a good sense of rhythm. But make absolutely no mistake whatsoever. I will not be staying here for longer than 2 weeks. Okay, it's been 2 weeks already. I've applied and applied to other jobs, but nothing. Barely any callbacks. I got one interview that turned out to just be a pyramid scheme, and I'm left looking for opportunities clear across the country. At this point, I'm gonna have to confront being here for much longer.
Hey, are you done daydreaming? Because it's literally the breakfast rush, dude.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
86 ham and cheese croissants? Dude.
I go to the front counter to start taking orders.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, John? John is the quiet guy who comes into the cafe every now and again. He's alright. Mostly orders a simple Colombian roast and spends most of his time on his laptop, but he's never taken off his sunglasses.
Just a Colombian roast, large, served in a mug, please.
I make him his coffee with ease. It's easy to remember, and he doesn't make it too complicated. He's my kind of guy.
Thank you so much.
He takes his coffee and he sits down doing his usual thing. I keep taking and fulfilling orders for the day. It's almost closing time when he decides to waltz in.
Hey, Suge. How you doing? Made it just in time. You looked bored, so I figured I'd give you something to do.
You literally came in 5 minutes before we closed. Not technically the most messed up thing in the world, but still, why? Hey, Becky, what do you want today?
Oh, I just wanted something super simple. I want a medium, but served in a large mug. Extra hot, 3/4 soy and 1/4 oat lavender flavor Americano served in a mug. With 2.5 shots sugar free vanilla and half shot of caramel. And I'm in a rush, so make it snappy.
She snaps her fingers at me, like a dog. It'll be right out. Valued customer.
It's Becky, by the way.
I rush to make her absurdly complicated coffee order. She always does this. She always makes up some new concoction of sugar and ingredients that makes me sick just making it. I wonder if she knows what she's doing, or if she has a wheel of ingredients in her car that she just spins before coming in.
Excuse me, what are you doing? I said 2.5 pumps sugar free vanilla, not 3.
I turn around to see a stern expression on Becky's face. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
You ruined it. Start over.
Is she being serious? It's half a shot of chemicals compared to your already 2.5 shots of said chemicals. I think it'll be fine. I'm pretty sure I stopped it right when you yelled at me. Plus, we close in 5 minutes.
Excuse me? Yeah, no, nuh-uh. Make me another.
At this point, I don't care anymore. This woman always does this. She clearly doesn't understand what's going on at all. Has she never had to work at a place like this before? I'm not wasting this drink. You will live and be fine with the possibility of having 3 pumps sugar-free vanilla. Plus, we literally close in 5 minutes, and you want a mug? Be grateful.
Well, I never. I would like to speak to your manager.
I call Kyle over as he gives me a reluctant look. They talk for what feels like an eternity. She's yelling and yelling while Kyle just nods. He's clearly not in the moment, but just going through the motions.
I'm sorry that you didn't have such a wonderful experience. I'll make sure to talk to my employee about their behaviour. In the meantime, I'll make your order. My treat.
You better. I might just have to take my business elsewhere if your employee lashes out at me again.
Kyle makes the coffee and Becky leaves.
Hey, newbie. Can we have a chat about something?
This clearly isn't good. I might get fired, but I don't care. Look, just tell me straight. Am I getting fired for that?
No, you aren't. I'm writing you up for poor guest service. But I'm not letting you go. Becky can be a handful as well, and I don't blame you for what you did. But you need a better attitude.
Okay. What's that supposed to mean? Kyle looks at me like a father looks at their child when they give a ridiculous rebuttal about a reasonable rule.
I've been in your shoes, my guy. I know you just graduated college and you're sitting here thinking, oh, I'm much better than this. I should be working a much better job. Hate to break it to you, kid, but sometimes we get dealt a bad hand, and well, a job is a job.
Yeah, I get that, but I was hoping that I would be out of here by now. You telling me that I'm gonna be serving coffee for the rest of my life to these awful entitled people?
No, not at all. Look, this might not be the most encouraging thing for me to say. I used to be exactly like you. Graduated with a degree in art, thinking I would immediately get a good job out of the gate. I didn't. I got a job here doing the same thing you're doing right now. I would curse everybody and everything, and I made huge plans for how I would screw over the old managers here when I did quit. However, over time, I learned to appreciate this place a little bit.
How could I appreciate a dump like this?
Look, I know the people upstairs don't pay us what we should get, and the guests suck, but maybe try and find ways to make this tolerable instead of insufferable. Try to be friendly with Julia and Sam. Hell, if you somehow manage to be friends with Becky, I'll be the one who mopped the floors when we close for a month.
He raises a good point. I'm not sure if I'm getting any interviews or callbacks anytime soon. I might as well try and engage with these people instead of being standoffish. Plus, it would be really funny to see him mop the floor for a month. Okay, you're on.
That's the spirit, champ.
He gives me a pat on the shoulder.
Alright, let's close this place up. I can go home.
It's another day at the Bubble Bean. With what Kyle said, I figured I'd get to know Julia better. We work the bar together. It's only natural. It's a slow day at the shop. It's early afternoon on a weekday. Not a lot of people usually show up, so we typically do whatever we want. As long as we get most work done and are professional in front of customers, Kyle doesn't really care. I see Julia is on her phone. Again. I'm considering saying something, but at this point, I don't care.
Oh my god, how could he?
She angrily puts her phone down on the counter and immediately starts doing work again. I consider leaving her alone, but she might bite me if I try and ask her to make a drink for a customer. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm doing so good right now.
She's cleaning the dishware like it owes her money. So, what happened?
Okay, fine.
She sets the dishes down.
First of all, my situationship.
Aren't you excited for college?
I wish I was, but I'm not.
Why?
Look, all my life, I've just been doing what other people told me to do because it's easy. I mean, I'll like complain, but doing what they say is so much easier than trying to do things myself.
Is that why you make me do all the frozen drinks?
I mean, I'm going to say no, but you and I both know it's yes.
Okay. So what do you want to do?
I don't know, maybe be an architect or a vet or a troll that lives under a bridge and makes people answer 3 riddles they want to cross.
I'm being serious. What do you see yourself happy doing?
I guess writing? I used to tell stories to my cousins about all the monsters I was friends with so they'd leave me alone.
Well, there you go. Study writing. Even if you learn it's not your thing, you can always change your major.
I guess so, but what if I get a degree and I end up stuck in a coffee shop forever?
She smiles at me. Okay, wow. I have a certain couple of words I'd like to say that I won't because I'm at work right now. But let me tell you, I don't plan on being here forever.
Oh, really? What's next?
I don't know yet. But what I do know is at least I'm trying.
Maybe you should try harder, especially when it comes to noticing customers.
I look behind me to see John standing awkwardly. Oh, I'm sorry. How long were you standing there?
Oh, just a couple minutes. It's fine. Don't worry.
Julia smiles at me again. When were you going to tell me he was standing there?
Never. I wanted to see how long it would take you.
I take John's order and Julia makes the coffee. So, are you going to go to school for writing now?
No, I'll think about it. You told me to do it, so I think I shall.
We all went about our day as normal, and honestly, It felt nice to give someone a little bit of direction. Reminds me of when I was younger and unsure of what to do. Another day at the Bubble Bean, and for some reason I'm scheduled back of house to cook with Sam. I guess Kyle thinks today will be slammed with food orders, or maybe he wants me to get to know Sam better. Either way, I'll take his advice to heart and try talking with him. Hey Sam, looks like I'm with you today.
As long as you don't mess up, I'll keep you alive.
Sam and I spend a decent amount cooking stuff together. Kyle has great intuition, because we did get more food orders than normal. Eventually, the orders slowed, and there isn't much for us to do.
Alright, looks like all the orders have slowed. I think I'm gonna take a smoke break.
Mind if I come with you? He pauses for a second to take a surprised look.
I mean, sure, you vape?
No, but I don't mind if you do.
Alright.
Sam and I go outside. The afternoon sun helps cast a nice shadow in the alley as we grab crates to sit on.
Alright, man, what's your deal?
My deal? I guess I'm here because I need a job after I graduated college while I wait for something better. You?
You know, I ask myself that a lot, but I don't have a single clue.
Why not? He takes a long hit of his vape.
Listen, I dropped out of high school because I was convinced as a dumb teenager I was going to be the next big SoundCloud rapper. I made like 2 songs and gave up on that when my ma kicked me out of the house. I needed a job to pay the bills, and being a cook just felt right, I suppose.
He pauses as he takes another long drag of his vape. I'm surprised he hasn't started coughing his lungs up yet. When I took one small hit in college from a friend's, I almost had an asthma attack. And I don't even have asthma.
I don't know why I'm even telling you all this. I guess because you're going to be gone at some point.
Try me. I'm literally applying to jobs in other countries. No one seems to be hiring anymore. Except for here.
Well, the second you got one, you're out of here, huh?
Of course. Why would I stay here?
You've got dreams. I like that.
Do you?
Nah, I dropped out of school. I think being a cook is all I'm cracked up to be, and I'm okay with that.
Are you sure?
What else can I do?
Get your GED? Go to community college?
I've thought about that, but I don't think I've got the chops or the mentality. Let's just say I did a lot of stupid things when I was young, and as an adult, my life is harder. My brain
He points to his head.
fried.
Well, I don't think it's too late for you.
How do you mean?
I mean, it'll probably suck, but I don't think anyone is too stupid for school. Even getting your GED will put you ahead of the game.
Well, thanks for believing in me at least.
Sam takes yet another hit of his vape.
I've seen a lot of people like you come and go. I sometimes stalk people on Instagram and see how amazing they're doing after they've left this place. Do I wish I was them? Maybe.
Well, I think you could. I get a better look at Sam. I think he and I are the same age. Yet I can tell he grew up in wildly different circumstances from mine. I was lucky in that I had supportive and sometimes understanding parents growing up, but I don't think he had anything. No one to tell him that he mattered or that he could change from the person he is right now.
Once you find at least a somewhat decent opportunity, you'll probably leave, huh?
Hey, I'll try to give it 2 weeks.
Dude.
And someday, you'll also leave for something better too. Sam looks at me like I just grew a second head, but in his eyes, I see a glimmer of hope.
Hey, where are my chefs? Come on, if you've got time to lean, you've got time to clean.
Sam and I headed back into the kitchen and continued our shift. For some reason, I felt more reassured of myself after talking to Sam. At times, I feel like I'll be stuck at this job forever. Yet, when I talked to him and how he mentioned there were people like me who became successful after leaving here, and assuring him he could too, I felt more confident. I decided to really take what Kyle said to heart. Maybe making friends is what I should do to help pass the time in this dump. John was always nice and understanding, so I figured I might as well try and strike up a conversation with him. Hey John, how are you today?
Hello, how are you?
He offers me to sit, a pleasure I normally can't have. I sit down across from him and get a better look. He seems vaguely familiar, but I can't figure out why.
So, how's your day going? Brewing the coffee okay?
I guess so. It's not rocket science, at least.
You got that right. You look like you're working hard.
Even through his sunglasses, I can tell he's looking at me with kind eyes. What do you usually do on your laptop?
Oh, just the typical work and business stuff. Responding to emails, Slack messages, calendar invites, event organizing, lots and lots of stuff.
You seem like a busy guy. Do you get most of your work done in this place?
Yeah, I feel like it's the only place I could hide from the entire world, you know?
Why do you feel the need to hide?
It's a long story. I don't want to distract you from your work.
That's fine. This'll be my break. Plus, it's slow. I'm all ears. John hesitates for a moment. He seems like he's darting back and forth whether or not he wants to say something. He finds a napkin and quickly writes something down on it.
Before I say anything, can you sign this for me real quick?
He hands me the napkin. All it says is, promise not to tell anyone, pretty please, with a line for me to sign at the bottom. I sign the napkin to help him feel more comfortable. As soon as I sign, he smiles and takes off his sunglasses. Wait, you're Friendly Fox!
Yeah, I guess I am.
I am in utter awe. Friendly Fox is one of the biggest musical artists in the entire world right now. I'm both starstruck and in utter disbelief of what he's doing as a regular in this cafe. What are you doing in a place like this? Shouldn't you be in your mansion or at a party or on tour right now?
Oh, please, those things are only fun for a couple years.
Well, if I was you, I wouldn't be wasting my time here, that's for sure.
Why do you consider this a waste of time?
Because this clearly wasn't my first choice in a job. I'm only here because it was the only place that took me in. I wish I was doing something much better, making a name for myself, working in the field that I took out loans for.
Well, maybe this time is actually a gift.
If this job was a gift, it would be a crappy white elephant present. A gift? Well, pardon my French, but it's a terrible one.
I understand how you feel. A lot of people envy who I am and what I do, but trust me when I say I wish I could have worked at a place like this for a while.
Here?
I remember when I was young and first graduated high school, I was immediately thrown in the world of music. My parents had some connections, and before I knew it, I had a record deal with a major studio that would ensure my success. Before I knew it, I had it all: money, fame, all the men and women I could want.
Do you regret being famous?
Yes and no. No, because I'm grateful for everyone and everything in my life right now. However, I wish I had the time to figure myself out. Most people are allowed to be stupid and make mistakes when they're young. They can spend time figuring out who they want to be, and no one has to know when they finally know what they want to do. Meanwhile, I had to be the most perfect person in the world from the get go. I have people all around me telling me what I should say, what I should eat, who I make friends with, and who I artificially create drama with. If I made a mistake, it would become my defining personality, and all the tabloids would go haywire.
Damn. I'm sorry, man.
I guess what I'm trying to say is to please use this time as a gift. Make mistakes, figure out even further what you want to do and who to be. I know it's probably not the best having to work here, but use this time to work on yourself for a bit.
On one hand, this feels so rich coming from him, but on the other hand, I'm reminded of what Kyle said. I wanted to immediately find a job and be successful, but the time I've been spending here has been eye-opening. I feel like I've learned a lot in a place I didn't expect. Plus, if I didn't work here, I wouldn't be happy. I think you're right. I guess it's nice to be able to chill for a bit before I have to hit the ground running in the real world.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
Well, I don't want to keep you for too long. Plus, Kyle might yell at me to get back to work at any moment. So, I'll see you around, John. John smiles. His smile radiates like the sun and fills me with determination.
You have very beautiful eyes, by the way.
Uh, thank you. I get back to work and take time to mentally digest what he said. It was refreshing to hear his perspective. But was he hitting on me with what he said about my eyes? I hope he was. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. A phrase I always thought was stupid, to which I would typically respond, so you can stab them, for a few chuckles. However, Kyle made a bet with me that if I somehow became friends with Becky, he has to mop while closing for a month. Luckily, Julia took Becky's order today. She's sitting by herself drinking out of a mug, probably thinking about how to terrorize the retail employees at the store where she gets her awful makeup. I decide to swallow my pride, apologize for my behavior. Hey, Becky. Mind if I sit here?
Bless your heart, Shug. You may.
Surprisingly, she seems a little more receptive to me. I was thinking she'd probably yell at me, but she's being nice. Or at least her.
I'm gonna stop you right there, Shug.
Oh, great. She's probably gonna let me have it.
So the other day, after our little kerfuffle, I was talking to my darling son who studies at Yale. Amazing son, by the way. My pride and joy. Graduated top of his class and gave such a lovely valedictorian speech. Yes, I was on the phone with him and I talked about what happened. My son, my most amazing, handsomest son, gave me an epiphany. He said you were probably having a bad day, that you're probably overworked and making minimum wage, and that you were stressed. So I just wanted to say it's okay. I know when my wonderful husband, who makes 100K a year, gets mad at me, he's really just mad at his work. So I'm sorry if I offended you. I know your generation isn't used to hard work, and no one wants to work anymore. So I'm glad that you're here.
Okay. So she apologized, but not really. She somehow managed to empathize and yet insult me at the same time. I guess this is progress? Well, thanks. I'm sorry for lashing out at you, though. It was completely unprofessional of me and disrespectful to your role as one of our guests. Saying all that made me feel like the world's biggest loser, but I guess we all have to swallow our pride sometimes.
You know, I never worked in a coffee shop before. It looks really easy. I bet I could do your job in my sleep.
Yeah, I bet you could. What do you do for work?
Oh, I just do whatnot in my neighborhood's homeowners association. Okay, get this. One of the residents wanted to have a Christmas gargoyle in their front yard last Christmas. Could you believe it? And so I said no and left a note on her front porch. Could you believe that?
Yes, I could, Becky. Wow, sounds like a handful.
And when I'm not sending emails for the HOA, of course I'm doing stuff for the PTA board. Oh my good lord. This woman Cassandra thought she could show up in sweatpants. Like you're a member of the board. Have some more decorum? The nerve of some people, right?
Yeah, the nerve of some people.
Listen, you're so sweet. I guess you're a sweetie pie after all. I think if you smile more, then the whole world would know how much of a good person you are.
Well, if I'm the sweetest person in the world because I just sit here and listen to you gossip, then I must be a whole box of donuts.
Well, I'd love to stay and chat, but it looks like I'm out of coffee. Could you make me another? Just the usual.
You do not have a usual, you get some new weird thing every time.
Oh, bless your heart. I got a large risotto with 4 pumps of caramel at 100 degrees with 5 pumps of sugar-free vanilla served in a mug.
You got it. On its way. It pains me to do this, but I feel like I must to win the bet. And this one is on me because you're such a Valued guest.
Well, aren't you such a peach? Oh, and while I have you here, could you tell that girl at the front counter not to dye her hair such crazy colors? I think she'll have an easier time finding a nice husband if she does.
Oh, I'll let her know. I'm absolutely not telling Julia that. I make her drink with ease and serve it to her. I look back and see Kyle standing there with the biggest dumbfounded smirk on his face.
Guess I'm mopping the store for a month now, huh?
Yes, you are. Even though my conversation with Becky was one-sided, it helped me to realize a couple things. To one, not be like that ever towards any employee in any establishment. Two, that even your greatest enemies and hurdles could be overcome. I just hope she doesn't get too chummy with me and tortures me with more details about her son or what other women do. Well, it's been a year since I've worked here. Much longer than I expected to stay. During that time, I looked for other work, and finally I managed to land a job in the field I studied. Today is my last day. I made sure to turn in my 2 weeks, and I'm leaving on good terms. Weirdly enough, I think I'm gonna miss this place.
Hey newbie, can I speak to you for a real quick?
Yeah, sure, about what?
I know it's your last day and all, and I just wanted to say how proud of you I am.
Well, thanks. I just followed what you said and opened my heart. Maybe a little too much. I think I'll still hear about what Cassandra wore to the beach from Becky in my nightmares.
Regardless, we're all sad to see you go.
All of us?
Well, I'm sorry for being such a blabbermouth, but I had to tell everyone what was happening, so we all pitched in here and got you this farewell card. Just promise you'll open it after you clock out and leave, okay?
You're the boss. We both laugh, like we did many times before, although this kind of has an air of bittersweetness to it. I go back to work and decide to say goodbye to everyone. It's only fair after all.
I heard the news. You're leaving us. Well, guess it can't be helped. You were always my favorite worker.
I wish I could return the sentiment, Becky. I really do.
Well, don't be a stranger. I'm on Facebook and all.
Sure, Becky. Your family looked lovely in those Christmas cards.
With your change in attitude, I'm sure you'll find a decent person.
Thanks, Becky.
Well, see you around, newbie.
Hard to believe it's already been a year and I found another job. How about you? How are your classes at the community college going?
Pretty good. I actually decided to change my major.
Really? To what?
The veterinarian run, with animals and stuff. Writing is kind of boring now that I'm actually doing it.
Well, I'm glad you've been finding your path.
Me too. Thanks for giving me something to do, I guess.
Well, Sam, it's been a pleasure.
It was great working with you, dude. By the way, did you hear? I passed my GED.
Dude, congrats!
Want to go out for drinks later?
You know it, my man. Just let's not go to Golden Western.
Don't want to run into that guy again, huh?
Big time.
Well, shoot me a text. We've got to go out with a bang, bro.
Dude, I'm gonna miss you. You are probably the chillest celebrity I've ever met.
I try. Hopefully, I'm not a celebrity anymore anytime soon.
How do you mean?
I think I'm done making music. I've been speaking with Kyle, and well, guess who's taking your job?
No way.
I'm probably gonna have to style my hair differently and wear normal glasses, but I can't wait to finally live my life as a nobody. Not saying you're a nobody, though.
No harm, no foul.
By the way, do you want my personal cell?
What? Are you sure?
I've never been more sure of anything in my life. You're all right, newbie.
Well, thank you. See you around. He hands me a slip of paper with his number on it. Okay, now I really hope he's hitting on me. Well, that was that. I finished my shift and clocked out. I start my new job on Monday, and to be honest, I don't know what to expect. The new boss seems like a character, but with what I learned at the Bubble Bean, it's important to take things as they are. I'm grateful that this place took me in now. A year ago, I resented this place. I wished I was doing something much better. Now, I don't regret anything one bit. Everyone and everything taught me a good lesson about how to appreciate these transient moments in time. In a way, I was able to burst my own bubble at the Bubble Bean. I thought this job would suck, but as I got to know everyone around me better, I'm sad I have to go. I'm gonna miss these people, but at least I know I'll always have a home here. Oh, sorry, it must have slipped my mind. What did you order?